Welcome back. You're watching Beyond the Headlines with me, Apeksha Shrivastava. Now, this is what is happening in the island country of Sri Lanka. Now, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has fled the country to neighboring Maldives. Now, as per sources, Gotabaya can head for any place from there, including Singapore, Dubai, and even India. Sri Lanka's speaker has announced that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has in fact taken over as the acting president. Now, Ranil Wickremesinghe has informed the speaker to nominate a prime minister who is acceptable to both the government as well as the opposition. Now, the acting Sri Lankan president Ranil Wickremesinghe has imposed an island-wide curfew till 5 a.m. tomorrow. Now, as per sources, the speaker has also been assured by the president Rajapaksa that he will resign today and the new president will be elected by July 20th. Now, a state of emergency has been declared as protests continue unabated. Now, protesters have occupied the PM's official residence. We saw a lot of drama through the day in Sri Lanka, and visuals are on your screen there. Reports also say that one protester has died after being tear-gassed outside the Prime Minister's office. Now, meanwhile, while all of this is going on in Sri Lanka, 120 Sri Lankan-bound planes have landed in Kerala in India amidst the unrest in the nation.
See, the people have certainly shifted the target from Gotabaya Rajapaksa to Ranil Wickremesinghe. And while talking about the president leaving the country, certainly he did not face the people because he took the Sri Lankan Air Force AN-32 flight late night without going through the immigration channel. He preferred to leave from Sri Lanka without having any kind of hindrance from the commuters, because this is what we saw when his cousin Basil Rajapaksa was also attempting to leave Sri Lanka. But on the other side, the people were very much angry because they spotted that soon after Gotabaya Rajapaksa would have resigned, there was a proposal which was made from his side that Ranil Wickremesinghe, the president, the Prime Minister of the country, should be made the interim president also. Another member of the parliament could be made the prime minister, but soon after people got to know, they got very angry and they moved towards the PMO in large number. There was 5,000 to 7,000 youth who marched towards the PMO house. There was a very tough fight which happened in between the security forces, including the army personnel and the local police, and multiple tear shells were also fired. But the police finally had to accept the demand of the protesters, which certainly went on a very wrong direction. The protesters barged inside the PM's house and they also vandalized the property of the PM's house, PM's office, I'm sorry. So that is certainly something which the international committee will also not look through as in a good perspective, because we are talking about Sri Lanka, which has a major portion of its revenue generation from the tourism. If people are barging inside the PM's house, Prime Minister's house, their offices, then certainly the international committee will not look Sri Lanka in the right format. And this is what has been ignored by these protesters, being so much angry against the government. In the due course of day, we are expecting that Gotabaya can actually step down, because he told it to the speaker that officially he will be sending the resignation letter today itself. And the speaker has also called for the all-party meeting, which has just ended right now, although it was inconclusive, but the meeting was scheduled to happen at 5 p.m. 20th is the next day when people are expecting that the new president of the country will sworn in.
Now, remember, the protesters had made two demands. One was that they wanted the president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, gone, as well as the prime minister. While the first has happened, the second one, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, still continues to remain in office. So we saw a lot of Sri Lankans there on ground chanting slogans. They said, "Ranil, go home." Now, he, of course, has become the acting president and in his absence has declared a nationwide emergency and a clampdown curfew in Colombo as well as the surrounding areas. Take a look at this report.
ये है श्रीलंका का पीएमओ ऑफिस, जहां पे प्रधानमंत्री बैठते थे। आप देख सकते हैं ये वो जगह है जहां पे ये मॉन्क बैठे हुए हैं। ये वही जगह है जहां पे प्रधानमंत्री अब तक बैठते आए हैं। आखिरी प्रधानमंत्री रनिल विक्रमसिंघे थे जो यहां पे प्रधानमंत्री के पद पे रहे, उसके बाद से यहाँ पे लोगों ने अपने आप इस जगह को कब्जे में ले लिया है। ये तस्वीरें देख सकते हैं आप किस तरीके से प्रदर्शनकारी एक एक करके यहाँ पे ऊपर चढ़ते जा रहे हैं और देखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आखिरकार यहाँ पे है क्या। जिस तरीके से चीज़ें यहाँ पे खराब हुई हैं और जिस तरीके से लोग यहाँ पे एक एक करके आ रहे हैं, वो साफ तौर से दिखाता है कि आने वाले दिनों में लोगों का प्रदर्शन और भी उग्र हो सकता है। वहीं दूसरी तरफ ये लंबी कतार साफ तौर से दिखाती है कि इस कार्यालय को अपने कब्जे में लेने के बाद प्रदर्शनकारी अब एक नए राष्ट्रपति और नए प्रधानमंत्री की मांग करेंगे। लोग तालियां बजा रहे हैं क्योंकि वो इसे एक विजय दिवस की तरह समझ रहे हैं। उनका कहना है कि इस जगह से, जहां से ये देखिए टीयर शेल्स के एम्प्टी टीयर शेल्स को भी ये खेल रहे हैं, दिखा रहे हैं कि इन टीयर शेल्स के कारण हमारा कुछ नहीं हुआ, हम यहीं पे रहे, हमें जो करना था वो हमने किया। लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री आवास से जहां पे पूरी कैबिनेट बैठती थी, ये कैबिनेट जो यहाँ पे बैठा करती थी, वो कैबिनेट भी अब यहाँ पे मौजूद नहीं है। प्रधानमंत्री का जो कार्यालय है उसे भी अपने कब्जे में कर लिया गया है। बहुत ही चौंकाने वाली ये तस्वीरें हैं, जहां प्रधानमंत्री बैठा करते थे वहां पे अब लोग प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। मांग ये है कि आने वाले कुछ दिनों में उनके मन की सरकार बने, उनके मन के राष्ट्रपति बने और उनके द्वारा ही चाहे गए प्रधानमंत्री भी बने।
Now, Times Network spoke exclusively to Sri Lanka's leader of opposition, Sajith Premadasa, who is also the front runner to become the next president of Sri Lanka. Now, Premadasa has accused both President Gotabaya Rajapaksa as well as Ranil Wickremesinghe of being power hungry. Now, reacting to the president fleeing the island, he said that it is the judiciary's duty to apprehend corrupt politicians. Listen in.
Both President Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Wickremesinghe have held Sri Lanka and its people to ransom. Millions and millions of people of our country are requesting both of them to go, to get out, to leave Sri Lanka so that people won't suffer any longer. But both of them continue to ignore the people's wish. So I absolutely have no idea when they will leave government. Both are clinging to power. Both are power hungry. And both do not care for the people of our country. Well, constitutionally, when the president and the prime minister resigns, the speaker becomes the acting president. So there is a way through prescribed by the provisions of the constitution. So it's a lame excuse provided by the present prime minister to hang on to power because he's power hungry, he's greedy for power, he's very eager to become the president of Sri Lanka. But he doesn't want to listen to the wish and will of the people of Sri Lanka. I have absolutely no idea as to where he is right now. And I'm not interested in where he is. That is not my business. My business is bringing our country out of this devastated situation. That is my duty. And I will do my duty. In doing so, we will bring to book all those who have looted from the public treasury, all those who have stolen state assets, all those who have stolen the Sri Lankan people's public property. But that will be done through a transparent judicial procedure, not through the involvement of politicians. It's not our business to do that, but it is a business of authentic, independent judicial institutions to apprehend corrupt politicians and officials and repatriate monies that were stolen from the Sri Lankan people.
And through the day, this is the most disturbing piece of news that's come out of Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lanka is staring at a health emergency as the country's hospitals are running out of medicines and vital supplies. In fact, doctors in Sri Lanka are advising people that they should not fall ill or get into any sort of accident as the country's economic crisis has led to short supply of medicines. In fact, cancer hospitals are struggling to maintain stocks of essential drugs. Items like cotton socks for surgery, blood transfusion supplies, even cotton wool and gauze are something that they're running short on. Now, the president of Sri Lankan Medical Association has said that if things don't improve, doctors may be forced to choose which patients to give treatment. And all this at a time when Sri Lanka is still recovering from the COVID pandemic.
This situation has been experiencing over the last couple of months. We have been telling the government officials that essential medicines has to be restored as quickly as possible. But some of the medications, certain surgical consumables, especially catheters, drain tubes, surgical gloves, and these items are in short supply right now. And some of the anesthetic drugs, used in the recovery, neostigmine, which is, right now it's a very scarce commodity, and also the blood bags and certain reagents used for laboratory tests that we do not find as a sort of a reliable supply. So we have been struggling these things. On top of that, our human resource management has also become a very critical issue due to the fuel crisis and, the patient transportation, as well as, our healthcare workers for their traveling and their transportation from their residences to the working places has become a serious issue right now. So in my opinion, country has to be brought immediately to normalcy. Otherwise, this situation cannot prevail. Ultimately, the total healthcare system might collapse if we do not find a solution within the immediate future.